was built. It was the end of my undergraduate years here. And I knew Chancellor Emil Marak very, very well. And in fact, I was Arbor Day chairman for several years, and I planted the Marak Grove around Marak Hall in his honor, named the grove for him. And he was really a lovely man. I believe he was born in Vienna, Austria. And he was a wonderful chancellor. Students always had priority over other adults in his office. He would walk out of meetings with Congress members, with faculty members, whatever, to talk to a student, and the students were the priority. That's changed now. She came from Greece, and she came through Chicago, which means you're a very, very special person. Many people, like John Kerry's parents, came from Czechoslovakia through Chicago. Chicago is Rockefeller headquarters, and that's why they come, especially. They're picked in other countries. They're selected and funded and brought here, and they immediately have good jobs and positions, and usually part of the intelligence operation of the United States. So she came with her husband from the University of Illinois. And the University of Illinois is very interesting. She's an electrical engineer, a specialist in antennas. And her husband, Spiros, it's Seragunas, is a chemical engineer in the engineering department on the campus. And it's interesting that they're both involved in very, very new world order technologies. And she's involved in the antennas. She has 19 antenna patents before she came to UC Davis. And they are all involved with the cell phones, with switching, with integrating with smart meters and other technologies. And her husband's involved in coatings and protective coatings on metals and materials. It's sort of materials science. And this is extremely important now because the huge amounts of nuclear pollution created by Chernobyl, by nuclear power plants, by our nuclear wars with depleted uranium and battlefield nukes and Fukushima. And the neutron bombs that they're using on the battlefield now, and then Fukushima on top of all of that. And there have also been several Chernobyl-level events in the Ukraine with nuclear power plants and MOX fuel, which is what caused the Fukushima disaster. And those have all been in the last year, and no one even knows about it. So what that's done is the Wigner effect. The radiation attacks the surface of metals and materials, and it disintegrates those materials. It steals electrons, and I don't know if you've ever seen, if you put iron filings on a magnet and they start growing up, well, that's what all this radiation is doing to the surface of airplanes, to thin metal, like the bands that go around and hold hoses on metal nipples, for instance, in hydraulic systems on planes. And we are having a complete breakdown of the entire airline industry from entropy. The Wigner effect is basically the crumbling or the decay of materials. And we're having airplane crashes. We're having emergency landings all over the United States, and as the radiation increases and the exposure increases, it accelerates it. So here is Chancellor Katehi's husband working in a very, very critical area of research on how to coat materials and protect them from this breakdown by radiation, by nuclear pollution, and it's contaminated the entire air column. So who's behind that? Who's doing this insane poisoning of the entire planet? Well, it's the Jesuits. And the Jesuits are very, very prominent within the University of California because they came with the Spanish.
Okay, at this juncture, let me pose a question.